Dr. George G. Ritche died in Berkeley, Texas, in a hospital. He says he met the Christ. He said, "Stand up, you are in the presence of the Son of God." I told this story to a classmate in the 9th grade, and he said, "I believe he was in the presence of cocaine." May not have been cocaine, but I digress. He said this Jesus loved him more than any person could possibly love anybody. And this radically transformed his life into a loving life. It's too bad when I telephoned him in 2002, 2007, 2003. Every time I spoke to him on the phone, he was cold as a Morse clav, and he was anxious to get off the phone with me because he didn't have time to waste talking to a white nigger like me. He writes in his book, Order to Return, My Life After Dying. He was always asking God to let him die so he could be back and see Jesus. In one place in the book, he wrote he was sitting on a carrier to go out to visit Paris, and he felt a voice in him say, "Get off this carrier and write your wife a letter." Finally, he got up, and confusion had his past the sergeant, and the sergeant picked some other poor young sucker to take his place. And the jeep traveled not too far, and it was blown up. And the person who had been picked, who was sitting in his place, was killed. And Dr. George G. Ritche was angry at God. God, he said, "Why did you let this soldier who wanted to live be killed, and let me live when I want to die?" Oh, but there's nothing like actually facing death to change your mind and change your theology and make you think what you really think but are too hypocritical to say. He was placed in front of his own front lines, and all of a sudden, a shell overhead came falling down. The ominous whistle cut out. He wrote, "I hit the deck, praying I would not be killed." What's wrong with this picture? When the rubber met the road, all his tough talk about wanting to die went right out of the window. So Dr. George G. Ritche, I'm calling bullshit. You're a hypocrite, and you are not a loving person. You did not meet the real Jesus Christ. You sure as hell didn't pass any of this quote-unquote love of Christ to me when I tried to speak to you. And now you're dead. I wish you were still alive, but how hot are those flames where you are in hell? Because you did not go to heaven. You are such an unloving person. There is no way in hell, pun intended, you were actually saved. You flaming, lying, hypocrite bullshitter. And if Dr. George G. Ritche's the third son is listening, your pops was a hypocrite, your pops was a liar, and your pops was a sack of shit. And I'll say that to you goddamn face if I ever meet you.